Sorry, I was interrupted. Anyway, wait for a while. Okay, so there we go. We have here, yeah, continuation. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, continuation. We have here, oh my God. A plus b squared. Okay, so this is just like the continuation of my explanation earlier. If you have like a plus b squared, this is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. You don't need to like expand this one and spend a lot of time when you're doing the tests during the test day. So just familiarize this rule, and you will it will really help you a lot in saving time in answering the questions in mathematics. Anyway, so if you have like this kind of stuff, we have here squaring. So we have this is considered to be AB, and then this is AAB. Using that, follow this. So that is x squared, because our A part is here, right? X squared. And then plus, and then put that 2, use that 2, and then AB. AB, multiply this 2, so x times 2, that is 2x. And then square the last, which is the b, square the b. So 2 squared plus 2 squared. There we go. So we have there, what's this? X squared plus 4x plus 4. That's it. Okay? Next one. In this case, so we have like 2x. Using this in the second one, second rule, 2x squared and then minus 2 times AB. Multiply that, 2x times negative 2x times 3, that is 6x, right? And then square the last, which is like negative 3 squared, so we have plus 9. Or negative 3 times negative 3 is plus 9. So we have here 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. That's it. Okay? There you go. Next one, we have 5x squared. Square the first, minus 2. Oh, plus, I'm sorry, because this is plus. Plus 2, and then AB, multiply that. 5x times 2y, so that is 10y. 10xy, I'm sorry. 10xy. And then square the last, that is like plus 2y squared. So this one is equal to 5x squared, that is 5 times 5, 25, x squared, plus 20xy, plus 2y squared is 2 times 2, that is 4y squared. That's it. Okay, next one. We have 3x, square it, and minus 2 times, multiply them, 3 times 4, that's 12, xy, 12xy. Don't mind the negative, because we already have the sign here. And then plus, square the last, this is 4y. We have 4y squared. So we have here 3 times 3, that is 9, or 3 squared is 9, so this 9x squared minus 24xy plus 16 because 4 squared is 16y squared. That's it. Those are your, these are the variants of this kind of questions also. Okay? Basic, very basic rules. And really, if you're, if you have time, try to search like special products and factoring worksheets in the internet, and you can find some of them. And for your practice, because really it will help you in, what's this? In answering questions regarding this. Okay, so this is the variance for that rule. We have next one. Now, if you can see this one also, like the sum of two cubes or the difference of two cubes. This is all cubes. Now, if you can see this stuff, try to, how to do this? Just copy one for it. So we have x plus y, we have here, okay? If x minus x cubed minus y cubed, that's x minus y also. Just copy one of them. And then how are we going to get this one? Square the first, okay? Change the sign. And then multiply them, that's xy, and then square the last, that's it. Okay? X minus y again, x minus y, square the first. This is the same rule actually. Square the first, change the sign, multiply them, square the last. That's it. Why? Okay, now if you have like, let's try to make this one the same as this. So we have like x plus y times x squared minus xy plus y squared. So we're just going to do the FOIL method, multiply to all and stuff like that. So we have here x and x squared, that is x cubed, x times minus xy, so minus x squared, y, x times y squared, so we have plus xy squared, y times x squared, so we have here plus x squared y, right? And then y times negative xy, so we have minus xy squared. And then y times y2, that is plus y3. So in this case, we have here, look at this. Positive x squared y and negative x squared y cancel. Xy squared positive and then xy squared negative cancel. So the remaining would be x cubed minus y cubed. Look at that. Using this one, same. So you don't need to spend a lot of time in solving that, because really it will help you doing if you're just going to familiarize this rule. Okay? Oh, thank you so much for those who are watching. I hope you will get something on this, guys. Okay, so I'll just explain this in this case anyway. Now let's go to some examples in the variants. Okay, so we have x plus 5. X plus 5, I'm sorry. X cubed plus 125. Okay, in this case, so we have here x cubed, this is already in cube, but this one in the second one is not yet. So we have like 125, what's the cube root of 125? It is 5. So we have x cubed plus 5 cubed. So, to factor that, copy 1 for it. So that's x plus 5. Express first in cube before you're gonna do this one. And then, square the first. Okay? Square the first. We have x squared. And then change the sign, minus, multiply them. 5 times x, that's 5x. And then square the last, that is 5 squared or 25. That's it. Okay? X cubed minus 1 is equal to what? This is the same as x cubed minus 1 cubed. Okay? So in this case, we have x minus 1. Next, square the first, x squared. X minus 1, copy that, and then square the first. Change the sign, that's plus. Multiply them, 1 times x is 1x or just x. And then square the last. 1 times 1 is 1. That's it. Okay, next one. We have, what more? 8x cubed, oh, shall I say, oh yeah, cube and then minus, wait, 64. So if you have like this, common 8 Okay? Actually, you can also use like this, but this one, there's like a common of 8, so put that common out. So we have 8 times x cubed minus 8. And in this case, 8 is not yet in the cubic form, so we can say 8 times x cubed minus 2 cubed, because cube root of 8 is 2. 2 times 2 times 2, multiplying 2 3 times is 8. Okay, so in this case, so we have 8 times x minus 2, copy 1 for each, and then square the first, so we have x squared. Change the sign, plus, multiply them, we have 2x, and then square the last, that is negative 2 times negative 2, that's plus 4. That's it. Okay, so ganun lang siya. So ganun yung variance niya with these cubes. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Oh, usually, yeah, just like this. I'll give you more, some more of this. Let's try. One more example. Okay. So it's like 27a6b9 minus y15. Remember that all of this can be expressed in a cubic form. So we can have like 27 is 3 times 3 times 3, or 3 cubed. So we have 3 cubed a6b9 minus y15. And this one can be expressed into put that common exponent out of 3, which is like 3, and then this one. So we have 3ab. 3 times 3, this is 3. 3 divided by 3, that is 1. 6 divided by 3, that's 2. 9 divided by 3, that is 3. There we go. That's it. Minus y5 times 3. Put the 3 out because our aim is to make like this stuff. Same cubic outside. So we have here. There we go. We can get it now. So we have 3a squared b3 minus y5. Right? 1 for each. This is cube, so 1 for each. So we have to get this one, copy, minus, and then copy the y5 there. Okay? So square the first. Square this. 3 squared is 9. A squared is a4. And then b cubed squared is b6. And then change the sign, plus, multiply them. So we have 3a2 b3 y5. Square the last, we have plus y5 times y5, adding the exponent, so we have y10. There you go. This is the other variant for that. Okay? There you go. Next, let's try to go to factoring. A little bit like harder with those factoring stuff. Okay. Okay. So if you are being asked on how to factor this one, take note of just take note of the first and the last terms. Okay? So we have here the first and the last terms. Okay? There we go. We're just going to determine the factor of it. So we have our x squared is the factors are x and x, of course, x times x. Factors of 9 are 3 and 3. Now, the question is, what must be the sign? Because this one and this are having different signs. But the thing is, you must take note that if you're gonna add this one, will be equal to the middle term. Now, if this one is positive, if you're gonna have positive, so this one must be positive 6 also, which is not the same as the middle term because it is negative. So let's change this one into negative. Negative. So this one is negative 6, which is equal to the middle term. So our factors are now x minus 3, just copy that, and then times x minus 3, or you can say x minus 3 squared. Okay? That's it. Now, other one. Okay, another one. This is just basic. Okay. Now, factors again of the first, we have xx. Factors of 5, we have 5 and 1 only. Now, this one is negative again. If you're gonna add this, that must be 6. And this must be negative because Negative 5 plus negative 1, that gives negative 6, which is also the middle term. So our factors would be x minus 5 times x minus 1. Just copy this. X minus 5 and x minus 1. That's it. Another one. X squared minus... okay, how are you going to do this one? X squared minus x minus 12. So we have here x again. And then 4 and 3. We can have 6 and 2. Right? We can do like this. Now, this one is negative. So 1 must be negative and 1 is positive. Because if you're going to multiply unlike signs, it will give you the negative sign. So that means since this 12 is negative, so that means one of them must be negative. Okay? And the middle term is just negative 1. So if you're gonna add them, the negative and the positive, we will give you negative 1. So let's say this one is negative 3, positive 4. This is like negative 2, positive 6. These are just the possible factors of 12, huh? So this one is positive 1, because 4 minus 3 is 1. And this one is what? Positive 4. So they're not the same. Change the sign. Negative, positive. Negative, positive. So negative 6 plus 2, that is negative 4. And negative 4 plus 3, that's negative 1. Okay, so this one is like the middle term, which is negative 1. There you go. So our factors would be x minus 4 times x plus 3. That's it. Okay? That's how you're gonna do it. Next one. Let's do a little bit harder. This is very common. It is usually in the basic algebra. And like solving, later on I'll be going to do the algebraic equations. Quadratic equations. Solving quadratic equations. Okay, so we have okay, so in this case, we have 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. If you have this one, again, factors of the first and the last. First, the last would be negative 1 and positive 1, right? One of the factors must be negative and a positive. Next. Earlier, I just asked you like to add this one. If it's equal to the middle term, that's it. But in this case, because earlier, my examples, the x squared or the quadratic part, has only the leading coefficient or the coefficient of 1 other than 2, 3, 4, 5. But here we have the coefficient now. I mean like other than 1. So we have a 3x squared. So we can have x and we can have 3x like that. Okay? There you go. Now, let's try. Multiply that. Cross multiply them equals to x times positive 1, that is x, right? And then 3x times, this is only true with if this one has the coefficient of more than 1. So 3x times negative 1, that's negative 3x. Adding them, this is where we're gonna add now. Adding them, negative 3x plus x, that is negative 2x. Is it the middle term? No, it's wrong. Next one. If we're going to change this one, so we have positive and negative. So 3x times positive 1, that is positive 3x, and then x times negative 1, that is negative x. Adding them, positive 3x minus x, so that is positive 2x, which is the same as the middle term. So our factors would be x plus 1 times 3x minus 1. That's it. That's how you're gonna do. You're gonna factor. You're going to factor them. Okay. Next one. I'll try. Wait, I'll just make. Okay. So if you have like 15x squared plus 14x minus 8. So how are you going to do this one? Shall I say, factor this one, again, 15. What are the factors of 15? So we have 3x, and 5x. Okay, factors of negative 8, we can have like negative 4 and positive 2. Let's try. Cross multiply like that. 5x times this one, that is negative 20x, right? 5x times negative 4, that is negative 20x. And then 3x and times 2, that is 6x. Positive 6x. Adding them, we have negative 14x, which is not the middle term. Let's change this then. If this is positive and this one is negative, because this is negative 8, one must be negative. Okay, so this one is negative 6x and this is positive 20, right? 5x times positive 4, that's positive 20. 3x times negative 2, that's negative 6x. Adding them, that's positive 14x, which is the middle term. So our factors would be 3x plus 4 and 5x minus 2. That's it. Okay? So, that's all for now for the factoring. I'll be going to discuss again later about like quadratic equations. Quadratic equations, solving quadratic equations. That's all for now. Bye-bye. I'll just take a rest.